We
Good
are
morning.
live.
We're on. Just chilling. How's it going?
Some people early this morning.
Yeah, some people were really up early this morning.
Kirk.
You know why Kirk is up this morning? He is working on a raised garden bed in his backyard. Yeah.
Wow.
So he was sharing some pictures of his building. So I'm sure he's got that green thumb energy this morning. So he's getting ready to finish that project or keep it going. And then we got Big Will is in here. Good morning, gentlemen. And the immortal Biggie Shack. Hello to you. And Chris, good morning to you. Everybody's just chatting and hanging out in here. Werewolf by lunchtime. Hello to you. I know it's only, wait a second. Big Will, it's 10 o'clock there. You're not East Coast, or isn't it 11 o'clock there? I don't know. I thought you were East Coast for some reason. Sorry. Alabama, no, that's not East Coast. That's going to be Mountain, right? Or Central. Sorry, Central. Sorry. Didn't think it through. Have a little tea. That was a cool little cup. You want to show off the lid? You were kind of just like doing your little disco thing there.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. How many times do you need to click it? Oh, there it is.
It's a sparkly cup. Charlie's is cooler because it's all white, so like it's really pretty. But you can't see the water in hers, but you can see the water in mine.
Nice.
Both have things that we don't have.
Oh, you're talking about, oh, sorry, where is it? What? These two Valkyrie covers Kirk is talking about. Yeah, those are my two favorites from the run. Obviously, the Stephanie Hans one is a particular favorite of mine. Werewolf says, it's Saturday morning where he is. It's 11:17. Boom. But staying up till 5 a.m. because I got to watch my boys in the Premier League. Oh, very exciting. Premier League soccer is back. Good morning, Mr. Reggie Collects. How are you doing, sir? Reggie posted an Instagram video yesterday that made me laugh a bunch, and it was a gift from a fan that Reggie had gotten this box in the mail, and the entire box was wrapped in blue painter's tape. Every single square inch of this box was blue painter's tape. It looked like a Lego brick, like a blue Lego brick. This thing was incredible. I thought it was hilarious, and what a great sense of humor from a great fan, right? Like, I can't even imagine how long. I mean, they just must have gone around and round and round this box. It's amazing, absolutely phenomenal. Hello to Superior Hero Reviews. Good morning to you as well. I know my time zone, dude. Big Will. Yeah, great sense of humor, right? Hilarious. So well played by that fan, and hopefully it was full of something that was just as much thought and heart that went into that as well. Hello, good morning, Everything Comics. Maybe Bueller's coming around too. I hope everybody's having a nice weekend. This is my first Saturday of summer vacation. Charlie's first Saturday. Yeah, yours. You've had several now. Charlie's first Saturday of summer vacation. And I am going to be going comic book hunting today for a little Father's Day present to myself. So that's my plan for today. Father's Day is tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to all of you dads in the chat, or people who are going to be calling your dads or saying hello to your dads. Ooh, is Bob at 990? Ooh, so check out Everything Comics, people. He is getting super close to that 900. Sorry, that That 1,000 is what I was trying to say. Where did Bob go? Is he up top more? It jumped on me. I know. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for Everything Comics. Where did it go?
It's right there.
There it is. Boom.
That's what I was showing you.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. So check out Everything Comics. He does that coffee show with Bueller every Monday. And he's got content of his own as well, live streams and edited content. So yeah, check him out. And then, hey, that's my dad. Happy Father's Day to this guy right there. The Pop himself.
Papa.
We're gonna have hopefully a live stream with my dad later this evening for Father's Day. Just something for him and I, obviously. I'm just saying a Google Hangout or a Zoom meet, I think. And then trying to talk him into a social distance barbecue maybe tomorrow night if he's around. So there you go, Dad. There's a little sneak peek. I had 6 years vacation, then I had a newborn. There it is. Anyone reading Wonder Woman Dead Earth? Read all 3 and wow, my mind is blown. I looked at them and I passed on them, so I haven't read any of them, Kirk, but it's a good comment. Good morning, Alec. How you doing this morning, man? Did the kids get you an Action Comics one that you've always wanted? No. That's the original Superman comic book worth millions of dollars. Action Comics #1. Yeah. No, that's not happening. Right? Let's see here. Did I miss anybody else? JP Budget Collecting. I've been hanging out with JP a ton, and I'm going to hang out with him tomorrow and Monday, I think, too. So I've been doing all kinds of fun hangouts with JP, and mostly on his channel. Gotta even that out a little bit, I think. Ooh, Bob says Wonder Woman Dead Earth was crazy good, and it was his pick of the week this week. Issue 3 came out. It's like a future story with Wonder Woman in the future, and the Earth is kind of turned dead, like it's like a desert, and she has to like rise up to fix it. So there's this like post-apocalyptic future, and Wonder Woman is like the one to save the Earth. Oh. Yeah, I hear good things. I hear the art is really, really cool. I'm sorry for you. Good morning to Gore Vidal and to Super Russ. Tomorrow, what are you talking about? We're on his JP and I are on his channel for some Dungeons and Dragons. If it times out, I think we got to check in with everybody in that group and make sure we're still good. #2 was super sad, but 3 made you feel better, says Kirk. All right. I might just try to get that whole run for my LCS at some point. I think they have some copies, so I might just try to snake that up. So again, happy Father's Day to you all. Hello, Chad. Happy Father's Day to those of you in the chat who are dads or granddads. And happy Father's Day to my dad a little early. We're just chilling today. And then I'm going comic hunting. And then and then late tonight, I'm doing another one of my African Americans in Cinema live streams, and I'll be joined by Bearded Comic Bro. It should be pretty late, like midnight Eastern. So just if you're up late and you want something to watch that's not an auction or something, I will be around. Rob Boswell says, John with the best quote for Perry ever last night. I think there were a couple of zingers. I don't even remember which one you're talking about, but I think there were a couple of good zingers. Any news from the Jigs News Network? I haven't heard anything, but I haven't been in his streams enough to catch it all.
Jigs?
No, Jigs is always dropping his news, his truth, his truthiness, and I've always poked some fun, but Superior knows it's very funny. So let's share some comics. The girls have been reading some good books.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know the one Nicole gave me? I haven't read it.
It's right there.
Yeah, can I show it?
It's already there. It's already being shown.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Peter Parker flashback, Peter Parker's #1. We're just going to leave it there, though. It's from 1997.
Yeah, Nicole
with the Proto-Goblin.
My friend found it in
and the Stacy brothers.
My friend found it in a comic shop in Big Bear. and she got it for me. She's really, really thoughtful.
She went up to Big Bear and she found it, and she went. Oh, you know what? I think I've been to that comic book shop because there's really only one comic book shop in Big Bear, and I've been to it.
I've been to it too. That's where I got the Superman wall hanger poster, probably.
And I got you like some action figures from there, the Jane Foster Thor, some little action figures, and the Loki, right? Oh, Charlie, somebody's saying hello to you. KK, her friend from down the street, her classmate, future classmate now, 4th grade classmates.
Yeah,
My former student.
We've been classmates, but then in 3rd grade we had to split up.
And now you're back together again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Superior Hero he's got a new baby in his home. So extra happy Father's Day to you. Big O, good morning, and Backseat Driver, good morning.
I didn't get a notification. Oof. I hate that.
Yeah, the notification bell is a little screwy sometimes, and I've definitely had issues with stuff popping up and stuff not popping up. So very frustrating. Honestly, Big O, it's that book right here. This is one of my all-time favorite She-Hulk covers, just flat out. I think that Marvel 1000 She-Hulk cover with her in the 80s gear, like got the Walkman and got the 80s exercise gear. So good. So good. When comic hunting, if you find any Danny O'Neill question or Matt Wagner Sandman Mystery Theater, take a look at them. They are good. Okay. Thank you, Gore. I heard about the Immortal She-Hulk Biggie Shack, and I'm curious about it, but I think, is it a mini series or a one shot? Somebody told me, I think maybe. But it does sound intriguing. We are doing well, Kennedy. Hopefully you guys are off to a good summer weekend here. Charlie's got some books. Kate's got some books. I got some books. I will say all 3 books that I'm sharing today, not really for kids.
Should I share my first book?
Sorry about that. But for those of you that aren't kids, and most of you in the chat aren't kids, I got some books in here that you might appreciate. Do you want to go first, last, second? Kate, what do you want?
First.
Kate wants to go numero uno.
1, 2, 3.
3. I went backwards this time. You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Tintin, the Broken Ear.
Tintin is really cool.
You've been a Tintin fan for a super long time.
Yeah.
I was a Tintin fan as a kid, and then my mom had a ton of these.
She gave them to me.
And she gave you a bunch of them a few years back, and you've just been and we've gone to the library and read some. But you're a big Tintin fan, right?
I have a lot of them. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's only 10 I'm missing.
That you're missing.
Yeah, the ones I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry.
She loves the back of the Tintin books because it gives you the grid of all the different ones, and you can kind of look through and see what's going on.
I have 11 of the own. So
I will not be looking for any of that. I've got the Miles books that I want. I might sell them at some point, but I do not have any interest in snagging Miles Morales books. We're just reading them in trade, right, girls?
Yeah.
So we have the first 3 complete collection omnibus or whatever, not omnibus, it's the trade paperbacks, the big thick ones for Miles. They've only released 3 of them so far, and we've got all of them, and they've read them all. I'm working my way up. I'm still right. Sorry. I'm right here. I'm on volume 2 of the Peter Parker stuff. I haven't gotten through to Fallout and then the Miles stuff yet. So I'm still behind.
But so this one is called The Broken Ear because there's a...
Both of my girls usually have their noses in books, right? That's a very happy place for them. Go ahead, Kate. Sorry.
This one's called The Broken Ear. And this one's called The Broken Ear because it starts with this museum, and it has like a fetish that's very expensive, and it's like famous, and it's supposed to have a someone steals the fetish, and then they return it a few days later, and Tintin thinks there's something odd about it. So then he looks at like the proof, and he made this guy who put it in the museum, made an accurate sketch. And the one that was returned is not missing part of his ear like the original was.
Gotcha.
So Tintin realizes it's a fake.
Ah.
And then he gets tied up with some bad guys. He captures them, and then they escape because they're, yeah. And then they work at the same place for a while. And then Tintin, there's miscommunication. People try to kill him because they think he is a bad guy, even though he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has to go to the Arumbayas to like get proof for the fetish.
Go where?
To the river.
Cauliflower?
Yeah. And the
Sounds like cauliflower.
Arumbayas live there, and like so he meets the explorer named Ridgewell, and Ridgewell takes him, and they get captured by the Arumbayas, and then they get freed because Ridgewell is really good at ventriloquism, and he makes it seem like the gods are talking to them to free them, but it's actually him. And then
we don't need to go through the whole story.
I know
it's fun.
But
do you know what Alec was saying when he was like saying that Tintin's great until it gets problematic? Because of the era and the time that it was written, there's definitely some slightly racist, the way certain characters from other countries are presented can sometimes come off as a little, quite in some cases, stereotypical. But it's the era. So when were these made? Anybody in the chat can beat me to it. Let's see here. 1945 is what it says on this one. 1945. That's quite a long time ago. I mean, you're talking 80 years, right? So it's definitely aged. Yeah, but I think they're a lot of fun. They're just, you have to take them for what they are, I think, as far as pieces of history, not necessarily accurate to the time, but more accurate to the way people saw and treated one another. Werewolf by Lunchtime was talking about an exhibition of his artwork in London. That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
And hello. Sorry, I missed Comic Dino. What's up, man? And Bob says, great live stream with Bueller and Hero and the Kid yesterday. I'll have to check that out. Awesome. Has Kate ever read Rin Tin Tin? That's quite a swap. Do you know who Rin Tin Tin is? They had, I didn't know they made comics, but they had a TV series about him. And I want to say some movies, maybe. He was a German Shepherd dog who would like solve crimes and do things. He wouldn't talk.
It's like Snowy?
It was done like live action. German Shepherd. Snowy is like a tiny little white dog.
No,
German
I'm not
Shepherds
talking
are big.
about that. Like how he's the explorer. He
gotcha.
Tintin Snowy.
Right, but this would be live action, so he doesn't speak. There's no like voice work or anything like that. You just see him looking at things and doing things. Let's see here, and we learned how to treat people better. Hopefully, right? Nice review, Kate from Gore. It makes me regret having sold his Tintin collection. Lots of great stuff is problematic. We just have to point it out and grow from there. Yeah. Or appreciate it as nostalgia and not as truth or not as accurate to, whatever. It's accurate to its era. I mean, I remember seeing in film school, Birth of a Nation. And that movie was like heralded as one of the greatest movies of all time. And it is shocking what people thought of as marvelous cinema, because that story is a shocking look at American history. But I'm glad that I saw it. Let's see here. Carlito Clasico, hello to you. Sharon, life with two YouTubers, hello to you. Jabronis, there's some jabronis in here. You got to watch out for those jabronis, Biggie. He's a jabroni as well. It's in his name. Did you want to share a book, Charlie? What did you want to do? Big fan. We are big Shel Silverstein fans in this house. This is Falling Up, one of his 3 big collected editions, because I know of Light in the Attic is another one, right? There's
another
several
one
great
that we
ones.
don't have,
There's
sadly.
There's another one that we don't have?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard of other ones. I've seen them in like classrooms and stuff.
Well, we'll have to look for him. Maybe we can get him. I love all of his stuff. And you wanted to read one? You seem very quiet this morning.
Well, I really like this one called Snowball.
Snowball by Shel Silverstein.
I made myself a snowball, as perfect as could be. I thought I'd keep it as a pet and let it sleep with me. I made it some pajamas and a pillow for its head. Then last night it ran away, but first it wet the bed.
Melted.
That's very funny, right? That's a very good one. That's hilarious. Yeah, so many great ones. This one's Sun Hat. Oh, what a sweet child is Hannah Hyde. Oh, how thoughtful. Oh, how nice. To buy a hat with a brim so wide, it gives shade to the frogs and the worms and the mice. That guy's just laying out, right? There's her giant hat. Shel Silverstein brings back memories for Carlito. Bye, Super Russ. Catch you later, brother. Yeah. I'll mark this. You want me to mark the snowball one? I know that's one of your favorites.
Oh, I really like that one.
Yeah. Have you read all of them, you think?
Yeah.
I feel like every once in a while I read one that I don't remember. And I'm like, what?
Same.
Really? I don't remember that. You know, it's like it clicks in my mind. I'm like, wait a second, what? That's hilarious. One of my kids' favorites was Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. That's a great one, Bob. Totally
That is a
agree.
What about
Good
Paul
one.
Bunyan?
I'm going to read that one maybe a little later. That's one of my favorite ones to read out loud.
I can find it.
Don't worry, I already marked the page in the other book. When you get to it. It's my turn now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to start with...
You did it upside down.
No, I didn't.
Right? Not there.
I marked it in the bottom corner. It's fine with that. The Question, issue 3 in the Black Label series came out this week. I'm almost covering Kate up with it. Comics on the Mind, you know, he and I loved issue 1. I think I felt like issue 2 and he felt like issue 2 was a little more confusing. Didn't really make a lot of sense. But I had faith in Jeff Lemire, so I picked up issue 3, and I'm glad I did because this one is great, and it makes issue 2 a little more understandable. I feel like I get it better now having read this, and I'm looking forward to issue 4. I don't know how many issues this run is supposed to have. I thought it was just 3, so I was surprised to learn that there was a 4th one on its way.
That's a big book.
It is. It's magazine size. And the artwork is designed for a bigger form. And I have a few series that are like this, but I've really been enjoying this. And again, you get artwork by Dennis Cowan, but like the inking is all Bill Sienkiewicz or Sienkiewicz. So the artwork is really, really beautiful and perfect for this format. Absolutely great. Caitlin is staring at my screen and screaming, "Hi, hi, hi,
Hi.
Kennedy K has a little baby sister at home who's been seeing all of our Zoom meetings and all of our classroom meetings.
She's so cute.
So she always pops in to say hello when we're doing the classroom meets. So
And also,
Hi.
Kennedy said her favorite is the boa constrictor one.
the boa
And then
constrictor,
it's really
Shel
funny.
Silverstein.
She said it's really funny, and I also like peanut butter sandwich.
That's a good
That's
one
a great
too.
one.
That's a great way to describe it, Bob. I totally agree. I can absolutely agree with that. And hello to Kachung. Absolutely nice to see you in Delphia this morning. Hopefully you guys were working in the garden. Sad to hear about Danny O'Neill. Comic book legend passing last week. Very, very sad to hear that. But it's nice to see how many people appreciated and recognized what he had done. So the outpouring of appreciation that followed his passing is pretty impressive. Absolutely. All right, so book number 2 is on to you.
Wait, 2 or 3? 2 or 1? 1, 2.
2. I'm going in reverse order this time. There it is. So
I never say the titles. I'm sorry.
I after all the things that have been going on the last few months, there have been a lot of movies that I feel like watching, a lot of connections I want to make, and Kate was off this week, and I thought, you know what, let's try this movie.
So that's The Help.
So we watched The Help, and it was my, I don't know, 4th or 5th time seeing it.
You losing the chat. Apparently.
And I think you enjoyed it. Powerful,
Sad,
funny. I mean, I think it's hilarious in some portions. Like I laugh really, really hard watching that.
Makes me want some chocolate pie.
Hopefully not. But then I said, Kate, I have the book if you want to give it a try. My soon to be a teenager here, he's trying it out. What do you think of the book versus the movie?
This one, things happened quicker. In the book, Minnie got Miss Celia Foote as her like mistress about halfway through the movie, right?
Yeah, it took a while. It took a
that.
while for Minnie to be taken in to start working for Miss Celia and Mr. Johnny.
Right about here, she like right about
Well,
there.
it's not even a third of the way, really. Wow.
Yeah. It was a lot quicker, and it kind of told you more about some of the characters. It never really some of the. Sorry,
You can keep talking.
I like reading.
I know you get
things.
distracted when I click things, but I want to make sure we keep talking to the chat, right?
But it's this really sad story. Like this one has more details, but like Mrs. Liefeld, is that right? I think
What?
Mrs. Liefeld. That's the one that's
Lee Fort.
Leafort, yeah.
She has baby girl and they call her baby girl, her daughter, the little daughter, Mrs. Leafort.
Yeah, and then I like this line is really good. You was kind, you was smart, you was important.
That's what she tells the little baby girl when she picks her up every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
To remember those things. You was kind, you was smart, you was important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really sweet.
And Miss Hilly makes me really, really irritated because she's so.
Well, she's the villain, right? She's a horrible person.
So mean.
But if you look at it, I mean, I think it's an interesting look at things that we're talking about a lot today. I think The Help is packed with the concept of white privilege. And I think it's interesting to look even at people, especially even people like Miss Skeeter. You can see Miss Skeeter has had so many benefits to her life that these ladies in that story couldn't possibly imagine. And specifically her education and the college that she goes to. And you look at the lady who takes over at Miss Hilly's house, who asks for $75. That was it. She just asked for $75 extra in her pay to cover the chance that her twins could both go to this.
And she would like pay.
Well, not only that, like it's fine if Miss Hilly had said no, that's fine. But Miss Hilly doesn't just say no.
She exits.
She then uses it against her and manipulates her with just being asked. But never mind that this lady working for her has two amazing kids that are both getting into an incredible college, but because it's two kids and twins, they don't have a chance. I think it's a very interesting conversation.
You have to pick which one.
Right?
Yeah, not fair. And this book makes me...
Good for you, Bueller. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what to say about it.
Congrats, Tacoma, on your son's birthday. Teenager. Is there any characters that you really liked?
Minnie.
You like Minnie a lot?
She's so cool. She's so funny.
She's
Can
hilarious.
I tell the chocolate pie part?
I don't want to ruin any of the big parts. I think the movie is streaming on, what was it? Netflix. So you can watch The Help if you've never seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I mentioned it on my Saturday movie show last week, and I'm going to mention it tonight because I'm talking to Octavia Spencer tonight. Please don't bump the books. And I was talking Viola Davis last time. It's just an amazing movie. The book is better. the book is so beautifully written. I love the tone of voice that the book
You
has.
can hear them talking.
You can, right? The pattern of speech is so accurate. It seems to me.
Minnie, like I'm looking at all the chapters with Celia Foot and like Minnie and
Mhm.
Celia
And Mr.
Foot-
Johnny.
Yeah, Celia Foot looks like she doesn't know how to do anything. I'm sorry.
But she's
No.
learning. That's
Yeah,
the whole point,
but
right?
Minnie is so
Celia
mean to her. Like,
Celia has this amazing evolution where she wants to be a good wife and partner to her husband, but has none of those skills, never learned those skills. And then Miss Minnie is such a patient teacher. Miss Minnie is this amazing teacher.
she's a smart mouth though.
She has a huge
Oh my
mouth,
God.
but it's hilarious and it's always full of truth.
Mm-hmm.
She's never ragging on people or hating on people. Miss Minnie has this incredible truth in her. My favorite bit with her in the movie is when they're trying to talk her into adding her stories to the book. And she's like, this is a horrible idea. This is crazy. And she shouts at them.
storms out.
She storms out.
And then she just walks back in.
She gets like
She's
10 feet outside the house. She has like a whole conversation with herself. She turns around. She comes back in and she says, I'm going to do this thing. She sits down. Then she's just silent. And then she's like, I got to come up with the questions too. Come on. Like you got to do the questions part. Come on. It's amazing. Just the acting in that bit from Octavia. It's just a wonderful, you can see her thinking, which is so hard to do. I think as an actor, I think that's really challenging to do.
One of the parts that made me laugh, I mean, a lot of parts made me laugh, but one of the parts that made me laugh was the part where she met Mr. Johnny. And she just like started running.
She throws the food at him.
Yeah, and she starts running and she picks up the stick and she's like, and then he's like, can we put down the stick? And she's like, no. And yeah, that made me laugh really hard.
Right. Well said, werewolf. Well said. But we've had that hope for a long time. I think it definitely takes more than a single generation, right? It definitely takes constant effort. I love that scene I love the reveal with Mr. Johnny. I think it's one of the better like slow burns where you're constantly scared of this guy. And what the reality becomes is just really well done.
Why is he carrying an axe?
Ooh, it says that the author, Kathleen Stockett, grew up in Jackson, where the story takes place, and went to the University of Alabama. That's cool, Big Will. I mean, you can tell that she has a facility for the way people speak, because it is so... you can't help but hear voices when you read it. The way the characters speak is so consistently drawn. So sorry, we're derailing this here. Can we go on to Charlie's second book? All right. Oh, now I get to read Paul Bunyan.
And I have another one.
She's got another Shel Silverstein from Charlie.
And I have two things that I've bookmarked that are kind of long.
All right. Well, I'm going to read Paul Bunyan because it's my favorite.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'll try to avoid the HE double hockey sticks when that one comes around. I'll do my best. All right. So this one's called Paul Bunyan by Shel Silverstein. He rode through the woods on a big blue ox. He had fists as hard as chopping blocks. 500 pounds and 9 feet tall. That's Paul. Talk about working. When he swung his axe, you could hear it ring for 1.5 miles. Then he'd yell timber and down she'd fall. For Paul. Talk about drinking. That man's so mean that he'd never drink nothing but kerosene. And a 5-gallon can is a little bit small for Paul. Talk about tough. Well, he once had a fight with a thunderstorm on a dark, cold night. I ain't saying who won, but it don't storm at all around here, thanks to Paul. He was 90 years old when he said with a sigh, I think I'm gonna lay right down and die. 'Cause sunshine and sorrow, I seen it all, says Paul. He says, there ain't no man alive can kill me. Ain't no woman round can thrill me. And I think heaven just might be a ball, says Paul. So he died, and we cried.
Mm-hmm.
It took 18 men just to bust the ground. Took 24 more just to lower him down. And we covered him up, and we figured that's all for Paul. But late one night, the trees started shaking. The dogs started howling. The earth started quaking. And out of the ground with a "Hi, y'all!" came Paul. He shook the dirt from off his clothes. He scratched his butt and wiped his nose. You know, being dead wasn't no fun at all, says Paul. He says, up in heaven, they got harps on their knees. They got clouds and wings, but they ain't got no trees. I don't think that's much of heaven at all, says Paul. So he jumps on his ox with a fare thee well. He says, I'll find out if there's trees in H-E-double-L. And he rode away, and that was all that we seen of Paul. But the next time you hear a timber yell that sounds like it's coming from the pits of H-E-double-L, then a weird and devilish ghostly wail like somebody chomping on the devil's tail, then a shout and a call and a crash and a fall. Well, that ain't no mortal man at all. That's Paul.
Yay!
I love that one. That's one of my all-time favorites.
This one, the bagpipe who didn't say no.
Okay, hold on. Do you want to read that one? Oh, that's a long one. Holy cow. It's quite seriously. Silverstein? Am I saying it right?
Silverstein.
He's saying, learned earlier this year when I listened to a podcast. So Shel Silverstein. I'm going to say Stein because that's what he did the long I. What makes the cake is find out the Bernstein Bears were really the Bernstein Bears. That's hilarious. So Charlie wants me to also read the bagpipe who didn't say no.
Funny one.
Okay. It was 9 o'clock at midnight, at 3:15, when a turtle met a bagpipe on the shore side by the sea. And the turtle said, my dearie, may I sit with you? I'm weary. And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, I have walked this lonely shore. I have talked to waves and pebbles, but I've never loved before. Will you marry me today, dear? Is it no you're going to say, dear? But the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to his darling, please excuse me if I stare, but you have the plattest skin, dear, and you have the strangest hair. If I begged you, pretty please, love, could I give you just one squeeze, love? And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, ah, you love me, then confess. Let me whisper in your dainty ear and hold you to my chest. And he cuddled her and teased her, and so lovingly he squeezed her, and the bagpipe said, ooh. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, did you honk or bray or neigh? For Aruga, when you're kissed, is such a heartless thing to say. Is it that I offended? Is it that our love is ended? And the bagpipe didn't say no. Said the turtle to the bagpipe, shall I leave you, darling wife? Shall I waddle off to woedom? Shall I crawl out of your life? Shall I move, depart and go, dear? Oh, I beg you, tell me no, dear. But the bagpipe didn't say no. So the turtle crept off crying, and he ne'er came back no more. And he left the bagpipe lying on that smooth and sandy shore. And some night when the tide is low, just walk up and say hello there, and politely ask the bagpipe if the story's really so. I assure you, darling children, that the bagpipe won't say no.
That's a funny one.
That is a very good one. I don't remember ever reading that one before. That is a great one. I've missed a ton of stuff here. The Bernstein Bears. My book is all messed up, unlike yours, Charlie. It looks. Oh, KK. My dad remembers going to the burger place in the rain and driving the black one had to stay in the rain. Yeah, I mean, even in 100 years, the changes have been huge. Big Will, I can't imagine. I can't imagine living through portions and seeing that in person. Must have been quite an experience. I'm going to go with my second book. We're running out of time. I might just share one more and let you girls do one more each because we've been gone for 40 minutes already. I got another Black Label book. I got Strange Adventures issue 2. This is the Mitch Gerads and Tom King storyline, sort of retelling certain elements of the Adam Strange. I mean, he's a character I've never read before. I don't know anything about Adam Strange. So this is kind of another Tom King introducing me to characters I've never really come across. So I'm excited to read more of this. I thought the artwork is spot on great. And this issue had a ton to do with the character known as Mr. Terrific, who is another character I know nothing about. So I enjoyed the way they portray Mr. Terrific in this story as he's an interesting character that I just know nothing about. So it was kind of a fun introduction to that character as well. My DC knowledge is not nearly as deep cut as Marvel, and so there are definitely characters that I know very little or nothing about. I have, obviously I know the big characters and some of the second tier Justice League characters, but I feel like Adam Strange and Mr. Terrific are even like third or fourth tier characters that I never read in a comic before. So it's kind of fun to get the experience of meeting characters like that. Adam Strange is cool, but never really used in a cool way in comic. Okay. I need to pick it up because issue 1 was great, says Kirk. Yeah, I liked issue 1 a ton. I think issue 2 follows along right with it. Hello, Kevin, 1-2 Comic Talk, my man. And Southern Comic Geek, good. Thank you for coming by. Good to see you. So I would recommend both of the Black Labels I picked up, Question and Strange Adventures. I think are both off to, well, I guess Strange Adventures off to a good start. Question is wrapping up nicely, so I'm looking forward to both of those stories. I think this is going to be another great Tom King 12-issue read. We'll see where it goes, but it seems like it's going to have some really fun twists. So I'm looking forward to that in a big way. All right, ladies, are we ready for our last books? My belly's going a little noisy this morning.
Can I read a
Charlie
story?
keeps yawning, making me tired. Almost midnight. Need to stay up. You want to go first? Charlie's going to do Noodle Fent.
It's another poem book.
It's another poem book about an elephant who loves noodles.
And they call her Noodlefin.
And they call her Noodle Fent. And this is a funny story about an elephant who's told she can't have noodles. They even give you the whole town where she lives is the map there at the beginning.
It's called Rueville because of kangaroos.
The kangaroos, yeah.
But then at the end, it's not.
Obviously, it's a subtle metaphor for segregation. I'm not going to read it all, but the idea that she's an elephant who loves noodles, she loves to slurp them up and really enjoyed it. And then the kangaroos are the government, and the kangaroos are making laws, and the kangaroos are saying what people can and can't do. And they're being quite dictatorial in many ways, and including what you're allowed to eat. And so Noodlefint gets in trouble because she loves cooking and loves all the things that she's making, but she's being told again and again that she's not allowed to have or do those things. KK says she was reading that one in school.
Yeah, we did.
And we went on a field trip for it. Yes, that you did. That's good. And you met the authors. Look, see, KK knows what's up.
That's what's up.
Let's see
Got
here.
the little pins.
Isn't there like a bit where she has to eat like branches
Yeah.
and all of her friends hate it? She hates it. And so she decides that she's going to ignore what people are telling her and she's going to sneak the things that she wants so that she can make
A machine.
a machine.
That turns things into noodles.
It turns anything she wants into the noodle. So her ingenuity, right, is coming through. I've been in a pub where kangaroos hop through while you're having a beer.
What the heck?
I'm assuming this is Australia somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That's where Werewolf lives. So that's funny. But of course, the kangaroos find out and the kangaroos burst in to try to break this whole thing up. Those secret police officer guys. There's a whole court sequence, and the jury is all kangaroos.
But then what she says is, Daddy, can I?
Look,
Okay. She says, the laws for elephants and shrews, tortoises, fruit bats, and gnus should be the same as those who we use for all you wealthy kangaroos.
right?
Guilty.
But the judge sentences her to jail, and she has to live in captivity. Yeah, it's quite a story.
But then at the end, can I read that part?
You want to get to the end? Sorry.
At the end, they break her out, and it's really good because she puts the bars into her machine and it makes noodles. And
She makes
eats
noodles
them up.
out of her cage, right?
Yeah,
and gets out and uses her ability to cook to throw a crazy huge party. And when the police show up to stop her,
She takes his law book and puts it in the machine.
she starts putting all their stuff in the machine
And
too.
it makes lasagna, and it's the best lasagna ever.
Right.
Lasagna. Get it?
Lasagna, that's true. And
That photo makes
then, yeah, you like that drawing?
Yeah.
When the kangaroos start eating the amazing lasagna, they start realizing what they've been missing out on, and hopefully learn to change their ways a little bit. Because then it's like this epic block party going. Everybody
much for
enjoying the
quarantine.
noodles. It is the tiniest bit sad, KK, because it's talking about segregation in a big way. Yeah, it's a great book. So again, Noodlefant by Jacob Kramer, and Keife Steele is the artist, I think, right?
They changed the
K5?
name of where they live from Ruville
Oh, they changed the name of the town in the back page.
to the
Beeston,
Beeston.
the town of Beeston.
It's based on Boston because the guy who wrote it lived in Boston.
It's based on the history of Boston and what happened in Boston, or just
No.
It's based on this guy. The town is based on Boston.
the name
The name.
at the end.
And
Gotcha.
then because he lived in Boston.
Gotcha.
And then there's a Beeston.
Hello, Sanimation. Hello, Jack B. And hello, Discovery Bay.
I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, is there a pop-up shop coming on Wednesday? That'll be exciting. So yeah, Noodlefant, great book.
Yes.
Oh, none of those animals are social distancing, right?
Wait, can I share a
All right. You want to
Here
read a
instead.
quote from The Help before you share your last book?
Abilene says this to like May Mobley. the
May
little
Mobley,
girl.
yeah, the little girl, baby girl,
Once upon a time, she was trying to teach her the difference between like segregation and
right?
Yeah. Once upon a time, there were two little girls. One girl had black skin and one girl had white. Little color girl says to the white girl, "How come your skin be so pale?" White girl says, "I don't know." "How come your skin be so black? What do you think that means?" But neither one of them, little girls, knew. So the little white girl says, "Well, let's see. You got hair, I got hair. I got a nose, you got a nose. I got toes, you got toes. So it's the same, just a different color."
Hmm.
I like that one.
You like that?
Mm.
Well done. I'm glad I was able to catch this morning. I have to get going. Okay, bye, Bob. And if you guys aren't subbed to Everything Comics, he is super close to 1,000, so he could definitely use the subscription if you want to check it out. Check out his content, man. All right, Kate's last book, The Popularity Papers.
It's about entering middle school.
It's a graphic novel, right?
Yeah, it's a graphic novel. Kind of. It's more like that
Sorry.
kind of decoration.
Alright.
It's like notes they pass back and forth that are like observations on popular girls because they're trying to be more popular.
Sure.
So they take notes on just about everything. They try putting on makeup to be more popular. They try dyeing their hair. They try knitting. Yeah, they try getting a cell phone. They try all kinds of stuff.
Whatever they think will make kids want to hang out with them.
Yeah. And then they try to run away so that their parents will be like, oh, they need a cell phone in case they get lost. But then they don't stay out long enough. And then they do it again. And then they get in a lot of trouble. And then it's really funny. And then they have a problem towards the end. That's why it's all blue writing. And then they finally fix it right here.
And then
she fixes it. It's a really happy little story. It's cute.
Can we actually have a song like if you know the song Goldfinger, her name is Goldbladder.
Oh yeah.
So they change it like Goldbladder. Dun, dun, dun.
I'll find it.
And sing
So they have the lyrics for Goldfinger, but changed for her name.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And Kate's gonna find it because it's a really good song.
Yeah.
We've talked about Amulet a bunch, and yeah, KK is a huge Amulet fan.
Here.
KK was one of the characters for Amulet one of those characters for Halloween this year.
Really? Who is she?
Goldbladder, she's the girl with the golden name. It brings her fame, such a bold matter. To have such a name, nobody can be the same. She rocks this game.
Yeah.
See, I know the song pretty well enough. I can do that.
Wait, Kennedy, who
Rocked
did you
it.
dress up as for Halloween?
The lead character, I can't
Emily?
remember her name. Yeah, with
With
the
red
cloak.
hair.
Emily.
With the cloak. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I liked that idea.
Good morning, Stay Puff. What's up? I hung out with Stay Puff last night. If you missed the live stream, it was a lot of fun. Talking about The Wire. Papa says, "See you guys tonight." Great quote, Kate. Let's see. Did I miss something else? I think we're good. I think we got everything. We are gonna head out because these girls need some breakfast, and I got to get ready because I'm gonna be driving out soon to go social distance comic hunting. I'm gonna be wearing my mask and using my gloves. I'll be doing it right.
I have almost all the books, but I'm missing the 8th.
And I'm gonna get the 9th when it comes out. There you go.
Yes.
Big fans.
Is that the last one?
I don't know if I'm assuming that they're going to keep making them. Yeah, everybody have a great Father's Day weekend. Thanks for the reminder, Carlito. Happy Father's Day to all of you dads out in the community.
Also,
my dad, happy Father's Day to you, and I'll see you tonight for that. And if you're interested in the social distance barbecue tomorrow, let me know, Dad.
Should we give our tiny, really short review of Onward?
We'll do that another time.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't find your king hat.
Oh, it's stored away. Okay, everybody. Have a great Father's Day weekend, and I will catch you all tonight, late night on my channel, doing movie talk again, but with Bearded Comic Bro this time. So hope to see you guys all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.